And would it feel like to actually get out coach with it?
It felt great to be out there. I just feel like it's been a long process. So, you're like building up to the moment and then like just to go in and try to, help my team. Obviously, you want to come out with a win tonight, but just to get the first one under your belt feels great.
Yeah, just pressure up and down the floor, right? Got a nice leak out layup. She's going to be consistent with her motor. And then in the half court, just, a smart presence with the balance of spacing and cutting and just efficient around the rim, right? When she gets touches around the rim, she's going to put the ball.
Whole spreadsheet on all that.
We're missing that.
I guess just you're not updating. I don't think it's right now.
Yeah, no update right now. Sorry. One more time. Sorry. I mean, they definitely came out harder with more of an edge. I think they were a little flat in Dallas, and we kind of jumped them early. And then, they switched a lot defensively early. And I thought we did a good job at times of, exploiting mismatches and putting people on islands and trying to get pieces of the paint and moving the ball. But then I do think at times it stagnated us a little bit. But what they did was they made their open threes and we didn't. So, anytime we had a mishap and it was an open three, it went in, right? All those backbreakers went in where we missed those open threes. So that was a difference in the game.
And it's been a good stop that as a manager of players' psychologies, how do you handle the regular environment?
Yeah. I mean, you just keep talking about the process and the bigger picture and the small incremental wins of where we can get better. It sucks, right? Nobody wants to lose games, and you go in that locker room and nobody in there is complacent and they're not satisfied. But you have to continue to do your job every day and come to work with a mindset, a growth mindset, and an optimism and a positivity. And so hasn't been perfect throughout the season with all the ups and downs, but ultimately, like when your leaders are leading that way and by example, the rest of the group is on board as well. So I've appreciated our commitment to this process, which is on the floor and off the floor. Hi. No, I'm sorry. Usually we do the players and then we get them out of here, but this is fine. I feel like I'm taking over.
Moving forward.
Yeah, I think number one is patience, right? She's been with us for less than 48 hours. So it's going to take time for all of us to get used to each other and figure out roles and responsibilities. But I'm excited, right? Just excited, right? She's just a fantastic athlete, just has a great intensity about her and wants to be really good and wants to be the best. So I like, she brings a competitive edge that I think is really going to help us in that locker room and on the floor.
Grace?
I think defensively is our main point of focus, just simple things that we can control. Taking pride, guarding our own, guarding one-on-one so that we don't need to be in rotation, don't need help. Don't ultimately give them open shots because we know they're a veteran team, they're a championship quality team. So one mistake, they take advantage of it immediately and knock down those shots. So we just have to be more locked in on that. I mean, it's obviously been a journey, but I think that's not unusual in the WNBA. People to get go from team to team, get waived, get picked up, 7-day contracts, whatnot. It's just kind of the nature of the business. So I mentally know that and just kind of, being where my feet are at. But I'm really happy here in Dallas. Great people. I think we're building something great. So I'm enjoying where I'm at right now.
Rob on the Zoom?
Thank you. Rob Tiantz, the podium finish. Maddie, welcome back. Beyond the emotions of your first game back since June 11th, what did it mean to play so confidently to help galvanize your team in a close battle against the defending champions?
Yeah, I feel like just relying on, the preparation as a group and, getting some practice days and, in the rehab with our medical staff, just knowing I was ready. And like, obviously, they're going to put you in situations to succeed. So I feel like that confidence comes from, the preparation.
Asia first on the Zoom, then we'll go to Christine.
Hi, ladies. This question's for Maddie. How do you think this game prepares you for upcoming opponents, and what adjustments do you think you guys are going to have to make in these upcoming games in the future?
Well, luckily our next opponent is these guys, but I think, Coach and Grace spoke about it, but them shooting 50% from three, like it's really tough to beat a team that good when they shoot 50% from three. So I think, that's a small area that we could focus on for the next game. And I think anytime you play the defending champions, like it's going to prepare you for the teams to come.
What's been key to find consistency with them as a group?
Yeah, I think anytime, your team, I guess my 3 years in Dallas, when you've had a lot of people in and out for different reasons, whether it's, injuries or people you're adding, people who get, are getting traded. You just have to focus on the group you have. I think, you can feel it. You can definitely feel it. Like we all, feel it obviously to get Paige, to play with Enrique and like so many of our young players, like it's definitely going in the right direction. And like Coach said, it's tough because like everyone, like I'm probably the least patient person in the world, and I want it, today. You want to win, and sometimes you just have to like, the little moments and okay, like we lost by 10, like can we cut it? Can we win next time? And it's like little things like that, you try to focus on.
So, yeah, it was a great focus on that. You listen, just that you consider as every guys supposed to.
Yeah, I think we did a good job on the boards on both sides, right? I mean, 16 offensive rebounds is a lot. Now, we missed a lot of shots, so there were a lot more opportunities to get those rebounds, but we went ahead and got them. And then, I do think that I thought the ball moved. Like I think we're playing a more selfless style of basketball and willing to get off of it and kick it out. So again, we didn't have the greatest shooting night. Usually between Lou and Lee, those guys are shot makers and they struggle tonight. So when you're starting, well, not starting, but two people who you rely on making open shots just struggle tonight. That's a difference in the game right there. But positive was the shots that we generated that way.
Even on the different orientation, it's just what did you be looking for a decision and then build your own.
Yeah, just that was the feel. She got in, and I liked one on offense that she was just keeping it simple and really moving the ball and getting the ball where it needed to go. So I liked that she had us organized. And then defensively, she competes and she's big and she's longer than you think and she's physical and she can stay in plays. I thought she did a really good job at times against Cloud, even on Sabrina, just staying straight up around the rim and just bringing another fight and another toughness that we need.
Each sort of years, it's then of course the games of consequence. Just when you see her consistency as well.
Yeah, confidence every time out there. Just as she gets more and more comfortable today with New York switching, right? Was able to play a little one-on-one and create space and get to her pull-up game. But again, with Paige too, I just appreciate that she's going to allow things to come. She's not going to force, and she's going to move the ball and make the right play. So just super proud of everything she brings to us.
Chris Combs is the Liberty were contender to that. But the addition of just how does that change? You guys had to prepare really any plans for this team. How did she change this team?
Yeah, I mean, just the depth that she brings for them now at the post position. You've got to, I mean, she was the MVP when I was in Connecticut and we lost that finals. So, yeah, she's another smart veteran player that can really put the ball in the hoop. And she's played with a lot of these players before, so she'll fit in seamlessly, but just gives them another punch off the bench. Yeah, Lee rebounded the ball really well for us tonight. I love what Lee brings to us. Just so her versatility, right? You know, she has the size and can go in there and be a presence on the block and around the rim, but I love her touch too, outside and on the arc. So she can stretch opponents' defenders and really bring them away from the paint and open up the paint for some cuts and some drives. But I appreciated her intent to finish every possession with a crash and get us extra possessions.
Thank you.
Thank you.